fellas, welcome in for tonight's knockout nights of not only Olympic football but also the EGL Clubs Cup number 2. Of course, we had the group stage round last week. We do it in batches of 2 now, so group stage 1 week, knockouts the next week. Today, only one team will walk away with that $200 cash prize today. Only one team will walk away with the Olympic gold in VFL football. Of course, we will walk through what it means, but of course, a big thank you tonight, first of all, to our sponsors in EGL for not only providing the platform for us to run the tournament through, but also for the generosity in their $200 prize pot to play for. No doubt the players will be excited to get their hands on that. The second ever one, hopefully tonight, less hijinks with the penalties if we need to go into penalties. Of course, quarterfinals and semi-finals, 2 legs. The final, 1 leg, 8 enter, 1 walk away victorious today. So, in terms of the bracket, this is what it looks like going into tonight. Estora Praia and Bodo Glimt. It is a Super League matchup there in the quarterfinals. PSG and Roma on the same side of the tree as them. Liverpool and VFL St Johnston. That is a really, really tasty matchup, no doubt. See Sammy and co against the likes of Fletch and the other lads that were a big part of the win back in Event 1. And then, of course, you got the feel-good team of Adore, Keza and Driscoll find their way into a quarter-final mix, and they take on VFL Brighton. Brighton, of course, controversially knocked out last week due to the issues with Q85C's team. Luckily for them, the issues are not so controversial anymore, because the original group that I think pit them by 1 goal difference on that controversy pulled out of this event. So therefore Brighton get their slot in this event. They get their slot into the quarterfinal bracket, and of course they will have every opportunity to mix it up and compete against Adore in a 2-leg competition. So 2 legs in the quarters, 2 legs in the semis, and then 1 final. Estimated start time of this tonight should be about 8:30. Of course, though, 15 minutes can be requested by captains for grace period. So the latest game should start as 8:45. 8:45 to 9:15 is leg 1. 9:15 to 9:45 is leg 2. You're losing the quarterfinals, you're done by 9:45. Semi-finals, 9:45 to 10:15. 10:15 to 10:45. If you're losing the semi-finals, you're done by quarter to 11. Final should then be immediately afterwards. The final tonight should finish pretty much just around about 11:30. So we're here for the next 3 hours, effectively, to find out who walks away with the gold medal, who walks away with the $200 cash prize, and who walks away as EGL Cup winners for the 2nd time in this great partnership. Of course, the next time we see the EGL Cup after today will be in July. It will be proper summer seasonal cup competition at that point. Should be a fun one. Who knows? Maybe we'll see if EGL want to go and look towards the World Cup instead. Maybe that could be an idea. Who knows? We'll leave it up to them. I'll discuss that. I'll float that with them. The World Cup would be a great event, though, to have them involved in. So, yeah. Realistically, you talk about favourites today. You're probably looking on both sides of the bracket. If you're asking me who I think gets to this final, I think VFL Liverpool should be the unanimous shouts. See Sammy and co. Yeah, it would shock me if Liverpool don't make it to the final. And I think it's going to be a grudge match final. I think Roma get to the end on this side of the bracket. I think Liverpool get to the end of this side of the bracket. And of course, Liverpool and Roma, a team, so to speak, but a fragmented group. See Sammy is at Liverpool. He spent so much time playing with Ben Barmer, of course, and Leodis over at Roma. It could well be a civil war of VFL San Diego, the VFL San Diego wave from the Super League. We would know, of course, the likes of Sammy and Everett dipped out, departed from Ben Barmer's Super League team. They all played together in Event 1 under the banner of VFL Roma. Now they've split off and made their own team. Maybe tonight we see old familiar faces in the final, but against one another. I think that would be a final that both squads would want to win. Ben Barmer would want to prove his old players wrong. And of course, maybe Sammy and Everett and co will want to maybe prove the point to Ben Barmer that they made the right decision in leaving. So both on opposite sides of the bracket. It's a storyline matchup for the final. It's just about getting there. It's cup football. Anything can happen. 2-leg competitions. Anything can happen. We know that. We'll see. We'll see if maybe PSG can stun them, or maybe if St. Johnston can stun them in the quarterfinal. Thank you so much as well for the follows. Mason and also Raven Slaps as well. Check DMs. Why are we leaving it this late? Our keeper, great, awesome. Well, if you play without a keeper, then you're all banned. So you need to find a keeper. And yeah, if he's not already on your roster, and you win the tournament, so obviously you can sign a keeper late now. That's fine. If you play without a keeper, squad's banned. If you have to sign someone not on your squad, and you win the tournament tonight, you'll be fined half your prize pot. So you'll win $100, but the other 100 will get donated to a charity of your choice. We won't be too harsh. But yeah, that's why you got to have people signed up. You got a squad limit of 23. Have them on there logged and ready. So again, to repeat, you can go and sign a keeper. If he's not on your squad roster already, then sign him. But if you win the entire thing, a fine will happen. If he is on your squad, then you're totally fine. He's totally legal. But let me know. I need the name of who it's going to be before you play him, obviously. So yes. With that, I don't think there's any other kind of questions to go over. I think people are just going to get themselves ready and prepared. So looks like everyone else is good. So yeah, there we go. Well, that's Deke's answer. That's everyone handled. That's everyone ready. The crowd noise is really loud. I feel like I'm in the stadium with what I've got on my ears. Hang on. Let's just turn this down just a smidge. It's really low on YouTube, but like my headphones are like cranked up to the absolute maximum. So, all right. Okay. So, any stream links? We've got one. Ben Barmer has got us covered here. To be fair, it's a very, very spicy game. PSG and Roma should be a good one. I think, though, if you're putting a gun to my head and you told me you can either watch PSG, Roma, or Liverpool, St. Johnstone, I would like to see that Liverpool, St. Johnstone game. I think that's got the potential of being a lot more closer. No offense to PSG, of course. PSG, a great team, the likes of Kreza and co, but maybe Roma are going to be a little bit too much for them. Who knows? But we have something at least. We have a link. We are ready. And whenever these two teams are good to go, we will begin. Again, any links, toss them to me. And remember, tonight, 2 legs. 2 legs. Quarterfinals and semi-finals, 2 legs. And in the final is 1 leg. No need to do a 2-leg final because, to my knowledge, everyone here in this list of 8 here tonight resides in the UK. So, don't need to do a 2-leg final. We'll reserve those 2-leg finals for the international competitions where maybe ping could play a factor. Wonderful. All right, so we can hear as well, or I can tell you, we ain't got any comms on it in terms of maybe eyes on it, but we can tell you that Adore and Brighton are just about to go in. We've got a link for Roggy, which I believe is the Twitch is doing the thing again where I'm clicking a channel and it's just bumping me down. I'm going to bump myself down in a minute, if you know what I mean. There we go. Roggy and Bodo Glimt we got a link for there as well, so an underdog matchup there. That there, though, is not the game. Don't worry too much. That is purely just a practice match. So they're warming up. They're getting ready. Bodo Glimt not kicked off yet. Taking their 15 minutes as they can and as they will. Of course, the sooner you start, maybe the more waiting time you're going to have. It's a typical VFL night, fellas. You know, listen, you'd expect 15 minutes to be requested left and right. We have a Brighton link as well. So Ben Doki's there. So we have a Brighton link against the door. Bright green pitch. Jesus, I've been flashbanged. My eyes have been banged. Anyway, we'll go to this one. We'll stick with this one. And we'll see who takes home the victory in leg number 1. Better than watching Lobby Sim. Again, for the other 3 fixtures, please get in ASAP. That would help massively. So, you've got Adore here tonight playing in the Mets Burgundy. Whereas Brighton playing in the white and blue of Brighton. Said you haven't seen the news in the last kind of like hour as well regarding football. Sticking in France, Lyon relegated to the 2nd division of France. I'm not joking. They had those financial issues earlier on in the season. They were told you got to raise X amount of euros by the end of the season. They've clearly failed despite selling Ryan Cherky. And now, yeah, right now, as of this very moment, Olympique Lyon are in the 2nd division of France. So that is a huge bit of news in the football world today. They can appeal it. Some people think that they'll appeal it and it will get reversed, but I don't know. It's a huge club, though, to get relegated. Massive. I think they qualified for Europe as well. So what happens? Do they keep their European spot? Do they play Ligue 2 football and play in Europe as well? Or does it get forced on down? That's a question. Ball there goes back into the middle of the park, though, or middle of the box, should I say, as the Adore lads in brown continue to just try and find a way through here as the ball peters off the sidelines for a throw-in. 11 minutes in so far. Not really too much to see in these kind of cup knockout games. You'd often expect these games to be a little bit more gritty, a little bit more kind of slow-paced. And the other thing as well is, sounds weird to say, never thought I'd say this in my life, but with how popular rematch has been in the last kind of like 5-6 days, are people going to be feeling a little bit of a rust on FIFA? I can tell you, some of these players playing tonight, maybe not in this game in particular, but some of the guys playing tonight across those 8 teams have been spamming rematch. And, you know, FIFA obviously a lot more slow-paced, a complete different control setting as well. So maybe you see a couple of rusty bodies out there tonight. As Adore continue to play this one back into the middle of the park. Swaggy Kiki there goes up and inwards. Brighton, who didn't really feel like they would stand a chance here tonight, so far defending valiantly. And again, listen, you know, we've seen shocks before. We always talk about that season 20-ish Champions League win in VFL. Derby County finished 11th in the VFL Premier League. Won enough matches to make to the FA Cup final. Qualified for the Champions League because of that, won the Champions League. They absolutely went into that Champions League competition thinking, there's no way we win this. Maybe Brighton are the same today. They come in with the surprise knowledge that they're going to be involved tonight. Imagine if they go all the way and win the $200 prize and the Olympic gold medal. That'd be huge. It's easier said than done, though. I'll tell you that much. Ball there goes right out to the Brighton man. So far, Adore doing a lot of good work here to keep Brighton penned in. I will say that. Brighton are struggling to find a way to get out from underneath themselves. Ball there played from Liverpool in the end, though. In the right place in the right time, and just calms things down ever so slightly. 25 minutes in leg 1 of this quarterfinal tonight. Still 0-0. Like I said, it's all about winning. It's all about staying on tonight. As soon as you lose in these ties, you're out. No one wants to get on for 2 games and then get off it. It's the worst feeling possible. Of course, as well, all these teams, all these players will be involved in the VFL Super League this weekend. Back after our mid-season break. Cup games as well tomorrow. So, should be a good heap of action on the pitch this weekend. That one there just simmers out there to Brighton. Brighton having to get that one cleared. That one then knocked up and knocked on. Now here comes that right-hand side pressure from Adore. Brighton doing really well, though, to continue to just kind of stifle and annoy Adore. Adore, of all the possession, probably the predominant superior chances, but they can't find a way through. They've got that strong defense, do Brighton. A Super League 4 team, but they are playing out of their skin here so far tonight. They certainly are. Ball there rolled out, 34 minutes in. Brighton continue to try and find a way beyond this compact midfield of Adore. That one there floated from right to left. Good switch of play. And now look at this. Brighton here with an open lane of space on this left-hand side. Here come the Brighton boys. The Seagulls crosses that one in. Maybe it should have been a ground pass there. An RBA, so to speak, would have been nice. And look at this right down the other end. It's a counter-attack and Adore not able to get the goal yet. The keeper's maybe in 2 minds. Should he stay? Should he go for the ball? Ends up scrambling back to his net here. And it was a really good chance there for Adore as well. I tell you this much, though. At points, both of these teams are looking light on defense. Counter-attacks are looking like the way to do it tonight. Whoa, that's a bit of a mistake there. Nearly from the Adore keeper. That one knocked on again. Brighton here continuing to ping the ball around in the middle of the park. Goes back over into the gaffer Doki. Drives this one forward. Brighton with loads of space here. That left-hand side, the left wing for Brighton has to be I think the golden path to victory. You've got to keep getting the ball on the left-hand side. Adore doing very well to cramp and crowd the middle, not doing well enough to kind of clog the lanes on the right side. Well, let's see here on the corner where this one goes. Crosses this one in. Knocks that one on. Absolutely nothing to see, as this game will teeter and peter into half-time. And if you're a Brighton and Hove Albion player, maybe you came in tonight with no expectation, I think morale's got to be improving over there. They've played a really solid game so far. I think Adore have got to be questioning themselves. How have we not put at least one goal past them? Half-time in leg one team, I think you could say, is better than the other. Adore looking like the team likely to score, but they're going to have to find a way to get past this tough Brighton defence. 0-0 at half-time of the first leg there. Moyala, good evening to you. What's this tournament tonight? It's a sponsored tournament, EGL. Can we grab a player? No one, someone's no-shown. Again, you either grab them from your roster. If you play someone that's not on your roster, I need the name. And if you win tonight, you'll be fined half the prize pot. You've had 23 spots to use to sign people up. Signing people now late gets you fined. So that is a decision you need to make. Said at me twice in DM, Sammy, because you're unorganized at 8:45. It's not my problem. So there you go. You're going to have a uncomfortable conversation with your players that have let you down there. So there you go. There you go, there you go. For someone from our knockout roster play. What does that mean? Someone from your knockout roster. What? I have no idea what that means, Charlie. No idea. No idea. Well, 0-0 in this one between Roma and PSG so far. Second half underway on that one. And Bodo Glimt are getting ready to go as well. Let's keep this one over here for the time being. Make sure we've got no more DMs, no more issues. But, yeah. I've been kind of clear and open about that. Said there is no grace being given here, lads. Like I said, you've all got 23 spots on the roster. You should have had everyone that you wanted to play signed up. People disagree. Like I said, if you want to grab someone that is logged on your roster, absolutely go ahead. But if you have to go... Oh my goodness me, that was a nightmare nearly. If you have to go outside of your roster, if you have to get someone that isn't contracted to your team, I need the name of the player. They can play for you as long as they didn't play last week. If they played last week in the tournament, then it's a no-go. Absolutely. You can't just take people that have been eliminated. That'll make no sense. But if you do have to kind of make a late signing, that's fine. You can. But half your prize pot's being fined. Just how it's going to be. It will make you be more organised for the next one. But a whole week to get it sorted, boys. What do you want me to say? Ball there goes forward again. Over and out to Adore it goes, as this one there goes to the left-hand side. And here comes Brighton. Tell you what, Adore may be lucky to still be 0-0 after what their keeper and defender were doing there. Ball there goes all the way back to... Oh, that's a poor one from the Brighton keeper. Let me tell you. Both keepers are having a bit of a crazy moment in regards to giving the ball to the other team or to their own team in a bit of a pressured situation. Of course, 0-0 doesn't mean too much in these first legs. You will still have to go and play a second leg. Does make that second leg even more tense. And don't forget, if it does end, like I say, you know, 2-1 to Adore in this game and then 2-1 to Brighton in the second leg, then golden goal in a third and final sudden death game will be needed. So there is that to take into account. That one there is out of bounds. Throw in. Set to come in. Launches that one. Knocks that one on. Ball goes all the way back. Plays over into Swaggy Kiki. Swaggy. Over into Keza. That one there, though, immediately just chopped up as Swaggy again now on the right-hand side. Goes and dribbles that one inside. Bendoki, though. Again, a general midfield here tonight. Goes over to the left-hand side again. Brighton doing well to spread the play. Goes inside the middle part of the pitch here. But again, Adore. In fairness, both teams here tonight, Adore and Brighton, very much getting a lot of creativity, I think, flowing on that left-hand side. The flanks, no doubt, for each side wide open as a glaring and glancing shot there just travels by the keeper. Heart and mouth moment there. Would have maybe felt that that was going to be the first goal of the evening. And that there is another nightmare in terms of distribution from the Brighton keeper. They've got to wake up here, Brighton. They are giving Adore opportunity after opportunity. Their focus is maybe wavered a little bit. Still, somehow, some way, Adore not able to capitalize. Still, a 0-0 game. Flick on was attempted. The clearance there is good. Knocks that one on. Down to the left-hand side it goes. Keza. Inside goes now over to the right-hand side. Here we go. Brighton looking on the prowl again. It's a lovely ball down this right flank. Here we go. Brighton looking to open up the scoring here in the 70th minute of play. Twists and turns, thinking, goes backwards. Edge of the D, but look at all these Adore shirts now. It was a sea of burgundy and maroon, wasn't it? It really was. I'll tell you what, the height, by the way, that the Adore lads are playing with, it wouldn't surprise me if Brighton try and maybe make their players a couple inches taller in the next game. They're being ousted and jousted by these aerial duels. Goes over now into the right side again. Over it goes to Swaggy Kiki. Back down it goes again. Whoa, Keza. Bit of a wayward cross that one in the end. Goes down to Tyler. Plays across now into the middle of the... Oh, Brighton's midfielder there, just to be fair, wins it back. So, not the worst situation in the world. Tipped on forward here, but Brighton still hanging on. I tell you this much, the defence of Brighton tonight, they've had no substance up front, but they have really made life difficult for this Adore team, who I think a lot of players would have expected to maybe win this game against Brighton about 3 or 4-0. It's a really good performance structurally from Brighton. Won't be told otherwise. Would they be happy with the 0-0? They would give them something, no doubt, to play for in the second leg. Knockdown is there. Swaggy Kiki goes towards the left-hand side, but only can get it towards a Brighton man in blue and white. Ball there played up, goes now over into that right flank again. They get a lot of options and a lot of opportunity here, but Driscoll, the Irishman, just manages to keep that one kiboshed. Knocks that one on again. Shamsi spinning and turning like a Irish Beyblade in the middle of the pitch there. Oh, this is a great move here. Is he on? He is. Right side again. What can Brighton do? Moving with the quick feet. Goes across. It was a great idea, the cutback. Maybe you'd argue that the central man could have carried the ball a little bit more further. That'll be out for debates. Ball travels all the way backwards. Dave Rosson clears that one up, and it does look more and more likely now that a 0-0 in this quarterfinal leg one is set to be the result. Of course, if both games finish a draw, let's say 0-0 and then 2-2, then carry on in game 2 to extra time and penalties, please. There's that one there claimed, and that will wrap up game number 1. 0-0 between Adore and Brighton. The first leg there, very much a stalemate. I'm going to just make a little note of that so I can pass it back on to the guys when I get that all updated. Over here, Roma 1-0 up against PSG, so we'll stick with that one for the final 20 minutes. And again, PSG, a lot of disrespect has gone their way in terms of maybe their ability to win this tournament. Yes, Roma was never going to be the nice team to kind of face in the quarterfinal, but people often say, you know, if you can beat the very best early on in the rounds, then you really make yourself a, you know, a statement team in terms of maybe potentially going all the way and winning the entire thing. We know Ben Barma is crazed by victory. We know Ben Barma wants to be kind of lifting as many trophies as possible. And, well, they may well about to get another goal here. El Warner makes it 2. It's a lovely attack from the right to centre. El Warner steers the car, steers the wheel of Roma towards victory. 2-0 here in the first leg. And that there is not what the PSG lads will want to see. And I'll tell you this much. I think I know Kreza and co well enough. I think there will be some real fury towards their keeper tonight, whether he's fallen asleep, whether he's disappeared. No doubt they are going to be incredibly angry with what their number one has done, where he's gone, sent them into a frenzy before kickoff, leading them to go and get the backup goalie. Will there be harsh words there? Will we maybe see him be benched at PSG? Is he even a PSG player in the Super League? So many questions, but again, tonight, the old factor, the old tale of maybe reliability over quality has come back to maybe bite PSG. 2-0 to Roma. It was a... I want to choose my words carefully here. It's not a mountain to come back from, but it's a very big hill. That's the only way I can describe it to you. 2-0 against a team with some of the names in here. The Ben Barmers, the El Warners, Leodis if he's playing, Z-Deck. Again, it's a very solid team here tonight. They're going to need to be absolutely perfect if they want to do it. Ball there sent forward. Knocks that one on. Preza here to Scotty. Plays back to Kenny H. And over to that right shoulder it goes. A lot of attack through the wings here tonight. Z-Deck goes over to Breezy. Breezy, a.k.a. Ben Balm, was thinking about the penalty there. Continues to be outed and jousted, though. Look at this. A continuation of pressure. Over it goes once more. There's Kenny into Clutch. Clutch tries to go on downwards, but only gets as far as Wiz Waves. VFL Harvey now goes into Cams. Of course, a lot of these guys, Harvey and I think Wiz and Cams, were seen in speckles of the VFL rematch draft we did yesterday. Cams looked phenomenal. Needs to translate some of that striking ability into his FIFA performances today. That would allow maybe PSG to perform the shock upset. Romeo was trying to maybe poke the ball forward, try and get a third. Not to be. That ball there is cleared, goes central. And you would think now this one is going to end 2-0 in this first leg. So, for PSG, there's no consolation goal. They don't want to concede a third, though. Hang on, that's a good bit of skill from Roma, but there you go. The first leg between Roma and PSG ends 2-0 to Roma. It's not entirely a mountain to come back from. We've seen teams do it before, but like I said, it's a rather large hill that they will have to maybe find their way back from. Going over to this one, Bodo Glimt and co. Why are we black screened? If this game has only just started, by the way, I'm going to be furious. Oh, we're doing this. Okay. So someone's crashed the game on purpose. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We're not doing this tonight. No, sir. So, what is that? That game is Bodo and Estoril Praia. Wonderful. Run a half. Whoever had a lag out, you're not playing them in the second half replay. We're not doing this crash game stuff. If you had a lag out, you're playing without him. It's that simple. If you had a lag out, you're playing without him. I want you to both confirm that, please. Confirm you've read this. Whoever had a lag out, you're not playing the player who lagged out. You're not picking him up. It's that simple. We're not doing this. I see it too often in the Super League. People try and do this kind of the crash the game nonsense to try and get their whole 11 back. Won't be happening. You lost the player because their internet smells. Then there you go. There you go. Well, they're both saying no one lagged out of the game. Then I just don't believe you. I either don't believe you, or Bodo CDM was out, I swear. Well, there you go. Now Ben's getting involved. Hurry it up. You two are delaying us. Happens again. I will fine you if you win the tournament. Stop clicking the guide button at half time. Final warning. Said the game doesn't break unless you break it. It's that simple. Stop it. You know better. We're in June, not December. There's no need to be weird. All right? No need. Thanks for Techno93 for the follow. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So, Move quick. Everyone else is starting to finish. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We will keep an eye, of course, on that Bendoki Brighton Adore game, 0-0. Do we have a score in the Liverpool Saints game? I think we've got a stream link for it as well. Happy days. So we will go and have a quick peek over there. Text. Oh, my Discord's doing the thing again where I click links and it's not even opening it up on Twitch. That's great. How are Liverpool looking? 1-0. Liverpool against St. Johnston. Again, why are we only 15 minutes in to a game that should have started 30 minutes ago? Unreal. We can't tell time. Shoot me in between the eyes. So, yeah. We had the leg out makes sense. Well, again, I'm making you very, very clear and aware. The only reason why the game crashes like that is because someone holds the guide button down, clicks the guide button in, and crashes the game. So rather than be a smart-ass Captain Future, Mr. Future, I would advise you to maybe tell whoever, your team, their team, whoever it is, I don't care. If the game freezes again at halftime, I'm fining you the prize pot. How's that sound? You're taking bare long to get into the game. 2-0 Liverpool. Said, pick it up. It's a sponsored cup. You ain't playing no random ATB tonight. You're playing with actual people and brands watching. So bring your professionalism, bring your on-timeness, bring your speed, or don't come at all. It's that simple. So chop chop, less arguing and typing with your sausage fingers, more playing the game. Let's go. Come on. We're here to watch FIFA. We're not here to have arguments about the lobby crashing in June. Don't crash the lobby. We won't be having this conversation. Okay? Okay. Wonderful. We should be back in action. All right, we are. Game session no longer available. You're really pushing me to do something here. Hurry it up. You got to be done. Game 2s are starting. You guys are sinking us right now. Let's move. Merchant, you can say all of this, mate. You'll be the first one asking for a picture at the LAN, and you know you will. Again, guys like you, bro, you yap a lot, and then you say absolutely nothing. Your eyes will be glued to the floor at the LAN. Just stop. You're not that guy. Give it a rest. Get into the game. Get moving. Get into the game. I'm asking you, weirdo. Be very careful. Be very careful. If you want to go to the LAN next week, I would advise you to really calm down. I would advise you to really calm down. Because as far as I remember, my name's on the LAN as well. I've got equal say, buddy. I would say really, really watch it now. Get into the game. Stop it. I don't want to go to the LAN. Fantastic. Well, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Most people that do a lot of talking usually don't want to go anywhere where they're going to be seen. So that's fair. Chop chop, man. Let's go. Thank you as well to Lonnie. That's going to be a name I'm going to butcher. Lonnie Calvarez 32. Thank you very much. You don't know who I am, and hopefully I never will have to know. Just you're talking big over a Twitch chat, bro. Just play some FIFA. That's what you're here to do. Stop it, because again, I'm going to be the bad guy when I end up kicking you out of the team. Like, please, don't make me make a decision. You're the one carrying this on. Please, respectfully, shut up, play the game. I can't be doing this with you all night. 1-0 to PSG against Roma in the second leg. That's big. They needed that one. Liverpool 2-0 up here against St. Johnston as Brighton and Adore are off and into the second leg. Fantastic. All right. Zenga happening, man. How are you? Are you good? Are you playing the Vupage tonight? What are you up to? You just watching, you spectating? How are you, son? Couple of delays here and there, but you know how it goes. Usual stuff, usual nonsense. Oh no, the lobbies crash, you know, all of that. Brighton 0, Adore 0 in the first leg, and 0-0 here in the second leg so far. If it stays 0-0 in this game, then it will go to, of course, the extra time drama. You know, that's what it will be. It will be about who maybe can win the penalty shootout. However, Swaggy and Adore here try to get through the Brighton lads. Not possible. Rebounds back. And again, if you missed the first leg of this game, Adore were really, really, I think, strong in keeping the ball and keeping possession. However, for VFL Brighton, probably the best defense I've seen from them all this season. Not just tonight, but even adding their Super League 4 appearances, they've been really, really tough to break down. And that's something that Adore, a team that were maybe projected to win this game 3-0 on aggregate, will be a little bit concerned by. They just don't know how to get beyond the team in white and blue. Of course, there will be tougher fixtures ahead. But when you get into a semi-final, again, for anyone that's ever been to a semi-final before, trust me, anyone can beat anyone. It really does come down to that. Brighton here, though, having to kind of compete and contest with the bodies in the middle of the park. Swaggy Kiki goes over into the middle again. Adore. Trickery there in the middle of the park. Absolutely nothing. Goes upwards. Doki goes across to the back line. That one there handled by Michael. Great press there from Michael. In the end, that there though floats off and away. And that'll be a goal kick. 23 minutes in. Still for Adore. Question marks over who's going to be the goal scorer tonight. No goals for either side as of yet. Brighton continuing to fight valiantly against the pressure, though, that Adore are putting on them. Watch out for Keza. He will maybe try and bait those penalties. You go back to the Euros, the World Cup was a real deviant on the left-hand side for the Republic of Ireland. Would usually cut into the box and be brought down. He would get goals from open play, but also penalties. But there's the goal. And finally, we have a break. 26 minutes in. And is it a bird? Is it a plane? No. I think it was Driscoll that actually scored that. Could have been the co-gaffer, and Adore 1-0 up. It's taken them north of 110 minutes to score. First leg was 0-0, and finally Adore in the Mets maroon have their goal. And now the question turns to who's going to be the goal scorer, who's going to be the saviour of Brighton. I think if anything tonight, though, oh my goodness me, that one cuts across. I think if anything tonight, Ben Doki is going to be, I think, frustrated. I don't think he expected to win this tournament tonight, but I think he's going to be looking at his players, saying to them, how can you defend as well as you've done for the last game and a half, but then play like you've never held a controller before when we go into Super League 4? Like, I'm dead serious. Like, this defending today from Brighton has been so good. It's just they've put so much emphasis on defense that they've not really got any midfield or, you know, forward link to be their creative marker. So it's double-edged sword. You don't concede a lot, but you ain't going to score barely at all. That one there competed for in the air again. Drops it down, goes over into the left-hand side. That one there tackled and stopped immediately. Good shots potentially coming here from the left-hand side of Brighton. They just have to find a way to get past the Adore lads. Again, this is the thing. Every time Brighton have looked promising in the first leg, they did build from that right or left-hand flank. So whenever they do peel out wide, you do start to get the itch of maybe something's going to happen. However, Adore have realised that from the first leg. They have kept their calm. And they have continued to play their football here. And they just want to get it to half-time and see themselves through to that semi-final tonight. Very dangerous play here. Oh, Dave Rosson nearly gave that one to a Brighton man. There would have been a few Adore hearts and mouths there. That one was very close. Lovely possession play here, though. Building up from the back. Good immediate tackle. Plays over, though, into the Brighton man. One thing that Brighton have got to maybe address as well is just the reaction of some of their players. A couple of times they just needed to first time pass the ball. Instead, they're kind of taking an extra touch. They're walking into traffic, and a shot there from Brighton, a rare occurrence. That's what's kind of troubled them tonight. Maybe just the lack of snappiness in their forward play. Ball there played upwards. Still here, continuing onwards. That one there cleared, and that one is going to be half-time, 1-0. 3 halves of FIFA down, 1 more to go. So far, Adore looking like they're going to bank their spot in that semi-final. Over in this one, 2-0 to Liverpool, who are effectively going to be a game behind. So we're going to be kind of waiting and delayed on that one there. Ruggie over here and Asturul Prahaya. No idea what the score was in the first half, but Again, so far, Ben Doki and co are going to be the furthest ahead. They were on time, right on the button at 8:30, so they're probably going to have, whoever wins that game, probably going to have about a 15-minute wait or so, so apologies to them. But Bodo Glimt up there 2-1 so far. PSG still on the comeback trail, though, only 1-0. 2-1 on aggregate here. Roma leads. So half-time of leg number 2. And PSG are fighting. They're not going to sit back and just take the 2-0 with a smile on their face. They're obviously going to try the hardest. And so far they are maybe making it a little bit uncomfortable for Roma. We'll come back to that one later on in the proceeding of things. That's still at half-time. We'll stay here for a couple more minutes. Why not? Ball there being pinged around and tossed around. Waves hit. Plays that one towards the gaffer, Kreza. Scotty in the end there just dispossesses him. But again, Kreza just right in his face, not allowing him to get anywhere. Clutch. Maybe he needs to live up to his name and be clutch tonight. A goal for Roma here would make it 3-1 and make things so much more comfortable. Worst possibility for Roma here is to go 2-0 down and then face that prospect of golden goal. But like we said, PSG, a real banana skin team. They are a team that can shock you and grab results off of you. They've done that so often, whether it be the Super League or the main VFL leagues in the main season. But 55 minutes in here, Roma coming through, and there's the goal. That will make it feel a little bit more comfortable. Ben Barmer, 55 minutes in, reopens the 2-goal lead. 3-1 on aggregate. Roma may well have just booked their spot into the semi-final. Huge goal, and really unfortunate for PSG, who, again, been here for 10 minutes, did not play badly. Here we go, though, back over to this game. Our continuation of the first half. Adore 1, Brighton 0. 0-0 in the first leg. Brighton still have it all to play for. 1 goal in this second half would force extra time and potentially penalties. Left-hand side, they're just being kind of walked through. That one down again from the throw-in. Got to try and hopefully work your flick onto it. Twisting and turning Swaggy Kiki. Brings that one down and over into his teammates here. Now here come Metz on the charge. Keza over to Shamsi. Shamsi into the middle of the park. Plays forward. That one there handled again immediately, but just goes right back towards the Metz man. And that one just flutters by the far post. So I think there's a little bit of kind of, I don't know, anxiety when playing out from defense of Brighton. Sometimes they're just not really kind of scanning the field efficiently, not seeing the wide open passes. They just want to get the ball off of them. There's a couple of Brighton players in there tonight that just don't want to be the one that makes the mistake that leads to goal. They're playing in that scared kind of way, which, again, can understand due to the kind of situation they find themselves in this evening, but they're well in this tie. It's not like they're 4 or 5-0 down here. They just need 1 goal. That's all they need. Throw in here, set to come. Brighton sends that one from one side of the pitch to the other. There's a door there just chasing that one and gets that kind of backwards clearance confirmed. Here we go. Through that middle slot. Dave Russon, though, down quickly, down easily, and brings that one to an immediate close. Up it goes now. Plays that one on forward. Shamsi. Not really too much to see here. That one gets up and over again. Knocks it on. For Brighton, they're going to have to maybe... Oh, I'll tell you what, that was really dangerous. I thought he was going to nip it round him. Maybe have that ball right there in the box. They play short again. They keep playing out from the back. They stick to their style of play, to their principles. Fair. Ball that travels up to the middle of the pitch. Just got to make sure that they don't stitch each other here. Lovely ball. One of the best balls that Brighton have done today. Waits for his overlapper. It's there. Chops back and forth. Tries to send that one in. A good idea, but so many Met shirts in the box here. You think it's a fan convention, but switch of play succeeds. 20 in-game minutes here for Adore to hang on, and they will be in that semi-final draw tonight. Ball there goes forward. Keza, that one floated away. Over now into the right-hand side. This pitch is so bright. You got to be thinking the guy streaming this Ben Doki today has got to be wearing sunglasses in his room. It's such a bright green pitch. His eyes are going to be turned into bags of sand if he keeps playing on this brightness. So bright I can't even read the gamer tags, mate. Look at this. Especially when they go into the lighter patch of grass. Unreal. And when they're flicked on again, there's Keza. Left-hand side now opening up for Mets again. Twisting and turning here, thinking where to go. Goes back to the keeper. That one toe punted forward. Shimmying and moving again. Flies that one down the right-hand side. It's a great touch here. Hang on a minute. Brighton may well have something. That's the best chance they've had all night. They've saved it for the final 13 minutes. And finally, Ador's keeper has been tested significantly. That was a great chance. Brighton, oh, they've got the goal. They get it done with 12 minutes remaining. Brighton 1, Ador 1. It has been very, very, very vacant in terms of shots here for Brighton tonight. But they have struck when it matters most. 1-1. If both captains can hear me, make sure if it stays 1-1, you carry on to extra time and penalties, please. Well, 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 we have drama in this quarterfinal. And for Brighton, they will begin to believe. For Ador, they will be so frustrated. They've let that happen with effectively minutes remaining. Great strike, though. And Brighton show that they can do it against anyone at any time. Maneuver here as the cross comes into the middle of the park. Hang on a minute. Brighton. Oh, my goodness me. It's open. Oh, Brighton. They've done it in the 83rd minute. Brighton and Hove Albion against Ador. They weren't expected to even compete. And now they're 7 minutes away from a semi-final. Ben Doki didn't believe his team could make it through the first round. Well, hello, hello. They could be going to the semi-final. That is huge. They've saved their two best pieces of offense for when it matters most. Now they just need their defense. Hang on a minute. It could all still be about to happen. Ball there just peters out, but it's pulled back for a free kick. They've got to calm the excitement and the nerves here. Ador have absolutely combusted. Flicks that one on. The underdogs. 5 in-game minutes away. Can they handle this pressure from Ador? Floats back in. It's got to be for Ador. Where's the ball? No one can see it. Oh, the keeper. But it's a penalty. Oh, Brighton. They've collapsed. They've felt the pressure. A penalty kick awarded. It's drama in the final 12 minutes of this quarterfinal to make it 2-2. Hop, skipping and jumping. And it's a save. It's huge, but it's still alive. The keeper back in. There's the goal. It's all going on. Ador 2, Brighton 2. The penalty is horrific, but the rebound and the cutback makes it 2-2. And for these young kids at Brighton, some of them have never played in a sponsored cup before. Some of them have never played the quarterfinal before. They are feeling that level of nerve. That screamed. As soon as they went 2-1 up, you could see the nerves and the tension dripping from them. 2-2. And this game looks destined to be an extra time classic, you could maybe argue. However, a corner kick. Can Ador break Brighton hearts and make this one a night to forget? The Seagulls need to defend valiantly here. That one's flicked on backwards, flicked on down. In the box it goes. Ador not able to get it completely through, and that will see us. Whoa, I think that could be a red card. That's really bad if they've got to do extra time. They could be down to 10 here.